Shalom, shalom, Hebrews and Shebrews. It's your brother Mikael Ben Israel, aka Joshua Ryan. Coming at you with another bruising in his hood. Hope everybody in good spirits. Yeah, I'm just making this video real quick. I'll wait for a few of y'all to get in here. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just making this video real quick. And man, I had a long couple last couple days, man. Most definitely y'all can. Hallelujah. What up with you all y'all? And so if it ain't filling out some paperwork, it's doing some online stuff, it's kind of tired, man, to be quite honest with you. So my phone will continue to be on do not disturb for a minute. Can y'all hear me? Press 1 if y'all can hear me. If y'all can hear me, press 1. If y'all can hear me, press 1. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you know, that's that old last days, boy, that honest. You know, them young cats ain't up on that. What up, T, Sister Sabrina? It was nice meeting you, beloved, at the New Year's ball. Yes, definitely got to say give our honors and praise to Elohim, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the unnamed son, Jesus Christ. We had a ball on the New Year. Got to give a shout out to everybody that was involved. All the people that got together, man, the staff that made that thing work. You know, it was the first time we ever did something like that collectively, you know, and it was on the Lord's New Year, the Most High's New Year, you know. What the world do on the Gentile New Year, we did it on the Most High's New Year, right? Set up by the Hebrew calendar that goes according to the moon cycles, etc. So it's a beautiful thing, man. The month of Abib came in with a blast. So look, right? So, like I say, man, I've been busy the last couple of days. I'm about to get back off and get busy again. I ain't been on Facebook since this morning. And, you know, as soon as I just logged into Facebook, one of the brothers tagging me on my wall, talking about, man, can you finally tell people what the term camp banging means? So y'all probably going to enjoy this one. It's going to be a short, fun video. Because it's something I've been saying for years. I'm going to explain finally what camp banging is. Because the Lord put that silly stuff on my mind to create the term. You know, I know somebody somewhere is going to probably say they created the term. But most people that know anything about me, about Hebrews in the Hood, or Walls of Jericho, or any of that, which goes back over a decade now, know that I was the first person that we know as far as in the circuit that said the term camp banging. The first two terms I ever really came up with was camp banging and superbrew, which is the two terms I'm going to deal with right now. What's camp banging and what's a superbrew? And I know this might sound like a silly topic, but that way I ain't no scriptures coming out on this because it ain't really scriptural, right? It's based off my life and my observation of the Hebrew Israelite community. So I gotta say before I get into it, right? I was just watching this video, y'all, and it's this sister, man. I'm gonna put the link to her YouTube channel. I just got on her this morning. I'm gonna put the link to her YouTube channel at the bottom of the descriptions when I put this on YouTube. So I'm downloading it straight from Facebook Live to YouTube. Her name is Sarah Lena. Y'all check out. I haven't watched all her stuff, you know. I just seen this one video today and I found it kind of funny. I put it in the Walls of Jericho group. And it's called Are Men and Women Created Equal? Y'all got to check it out. Because it ain't what you think. It was actually a breath of fresh air with all the gender wars we got going on online nowadays, right? Like, this ain't really happening in real life like that. It's really on social media. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of gender wars going on, man. And I got to say, that Hebrew 101 group is the worst. If you new in the truth, don't add yourself to that group. Y'all, I told y'all, Big Bro, Uncle Mikael told y'all, do not add yourself to that Hebrew 101 group. I don't know why I'm still in there. I'll be quite honest with you. So many people done said they left soon as after one day. You can't take more than one day in there. It's the most carnal group ever. It's shameful to even have Hebrew on there. And love at that. Because there ain't no love in there. It's just gender wars, man. I think I only stay in there because I can't lie. Being that I can't nothing in there make me fall off in no folly. Because I'm 10 toes down in this thing. I just want to see what outlandish post is going to pop up in there next. And it is some of the most folliest folly in there. I'm convinced that an old, wrinkled up, white Jewish dude, you know what I'm saying? A Jewish dude, excuse me, with a yarmulke, with the suction cup joint on, owns that group. And they just in there causing discord because they don't take no posts down. They don't take no posts down. They don't drop no rules. You know how some groups have the rules, like it won't be none of this, none of that. It's just constant battling, and that group is folly. So that leads to my point, man. Brother Charles asked me what's with the tail. Is that a Chicago thing? No, bro, that's a Mikael thing, man. That's all. Actually, one of the OG brothers from the hood used to hire one. From the hood I came up in, I thought it was unique because he was the only one that had a rubber band on his beard. He had one of them box Chevys, my man Steve-O. You know what I'm saying? He had a two-door box Chevy, and he'd just go flying down the block with the window down. You'd just see his beard blowing in the wind. I said, man, that's kind of cool, Joe. Then I noticed that my beard grow like that. It grow like straight down, like long. So yeah, that's kind of who inspired me to do that, right? I didn't think it was going to get this ridiculous. I got a joint like I'm almost trying to get an Aaron beard. But look, right? So back to the gender strike. That's going to trickle us on right to this conversation with what is a super brew and what is camp banging. Like I say, I created the terms. I'm going to tell you how I created them too, so you get an understanding of what they mean. Because people just, and trust me, I want to say this through the gate. You come up with terms so it'll catch on as a language. So that's cool. That's the purpose of it. I ain't trying to say, I'm going to sue somebody for saying a word. I got it patented and all that. No, it's going to be in my brewtionary with all the other words I got with brew on it and ite and all that. And so, but people use it all out of context now, like they do the scriptures, which is crazy. So yeah, right. So I'm watching this sister on, and like I say, the video was called "What's the Difference Between Men and Women Are Not Created Equal," right? And so she was telling the differences, using biology, and some of it was so on point, man. I couldn't help but laugh, Joe. And she was saying how I can't think of the name of this part of the brain, but it's called the Meccano, the something. Y'all got to see the video, man. And she was saying that it's the part of the brain that controls long-term memory, but with little details, right? And apparently, this part of the brain got more space in it in the woman than it do in the man. So you got to see how she break this down, and it's real balanced. She not being biased either way, and she using biology study, research, medical texts and stuff. And so it explains why men, we remember details about, especially I think it was even with the male and female when it came to traumatic events. You would never forget that, right? Or something serious. But when it came to this part of the brain, the woman got so much space in there that, this is why they bring up stuff from 1985 when the Bears won, and it's 2021, and you be like, are you still on that? Like, really? I forgot all about that, right? And she was showing it. So it was a lot of the funny stuff she was bringing out. And there's something about I think the cerebral cortex on the react to fast movements is supposed to be thicker with men. So we react faster to certain stuff, and it kind of go into the whole us being protectors thing. And then she was showing how if you put them together, it's a perfect balance for raising children. And what was the other one? All. And with me and the brothers used to talk about this. Have y'all ever wondered why sisters it's always an exception to the rule now. Remember, it's an exception to the rule with everything. But have you ever wondered why sisters cannot parallel park? I remember I was watching a study, and they was giving men and women 2 minutes to parallel park. I think they got 50 men and 50 women. And all 50 of the men parallel parked in less than 2 minutes. And the average woman parallel park was like 3.5 minutes or something. Like, they was trying to figure out like but this sister was breaking it down like literally, like medically, biologically, why we do certain stuff better and why they do certain stuff better. And some of the stuff the women do better, I didn't even notice it. You gotta go see it. And I'm like, damn, that is funny, Joe. But yeah, and so she was saying that they did a study, and it was dealing with location. So they dropped the men and the women off, and they had to go find something. And it was like 9 times out of 10, the men found the location quicker than the women. And it was because women, when they sense a direction kick in, they go off memory. I ain't gonna lie, their memory base is off the chain, but that can be a hindrance too, because they be remembering the wrong stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it was designed to help, you know what I'm saying, rearing a family, right? It's kind of cool. Y'all got to check it out. Her name's Sarah Lena, man. And I got it in the Walls Jericho group. After I watched it, I said, okay, this is the video they need in that Hebrew Love 101 group. So they could see that actually the differences, when you put them together, you see exactly why the Most High, and she wasn't even coming from a biblical standpoint. She was doing straight science. But you could see why the Most High made the woman for it. Like, it's some cool stuff. But some of it was funny, Joe. It was hilarious. But okay. All right, so let me get to my point before I be talking too long. All right, so what I'm going to start with. So one of my brothers, my beloved brother, Yabatazar, called me a few weeks ago. We was talking or whatever. Shalom to you, Ak, if you see this. And he was saying, we was talking about something. We was talking about something deep. But anyway, the term came up, you know, he had asked me like, man, Joe, you know, what did you say the original term? Why did you start saying the original term, superbrew? So I told him, I was like, yeah, it don't got nothing to do with what people be saying. So this is really where the term superbrew came from, y'all. Okay, because some people tend to think somebody is a superbrew just strictly off their attire or them having on fringes or something. And that was definitely not the intention of it. That's actually kind of silly, because if that's the case, a lot of Israelites are superbrews, right? No, it was actually, I came up with the term superbrew. Mind you, all of this is related off of my upcoming in the gang life, right? So now you'll understand why you got terms like camp banging, but I'm going to tell you where superbrew come from. So to make a long story short, I had this homie, right? And he just exaggerated everything. Like, I don't care what we talked about. Either he was exaggerating or he was flat out lying. You know how everybody got that homie that they lie like for no reason, like they just instinctive, compulsive, habitual liar, right? And then they so bad with the line, they will put you in their line. And I just couldn't take it no more. Y'all know how I am now. That's the same way I was back then. So one day I just couldn't take it no more. I'm like, I had started calling him 80 a day. And people like, man, Joe, why you call that brother 80 a day? I say, because if you sit around him, he tell about 80 lies a day. I'm like, I know, because I tried to count them, right? So I started calling him 80 a day, right? And then that just wasn't long. That just was too long. So one day we was talking about something, man. And the subject ain't had nothing to do with what he came up with, but he just jumped in the conversation and started lying. And he was real aggressive with it, right? If you didn't know him, he would have convinced you this was true. And then he threw me in the lie. And I'm like, Negro, I was there. That didn't happen. So I ain't want to put the man on blast. So I was just like, hey, man, that's crazy, Joe. So he was like, wasn't he Mike? He like, Mike. They call me Mike Lord. He like, Mike Lord. Man, for real, though, did you remember when, I'm like, man, Joe, that's wild, Joe. You know, but I'm getting mad because I'm like, don't make me partake in your sin, right? And so I said, man, bro, one day he did that. I just couldn't take it no more. I was like, I'm just telling y'all, come from my street life. He was a four-corner hustler. So anybody from Chicago know what that is. That's a branch of the Vice Lords. He was a foe, right? And so I started calling him Super Foe. He pulled up in the car one day. Everybody out there kicking it. We had our cups, you know, had the little females out there. And he whipped the corner. I said, oh, damn. Here comes Super Foe. And everybody fell out, Joe. And sure as poop stank, he jumped straight out the car telling lies. You know how it is with the street organization / gangs in Chicago. Everybody got a handshake, right? The first thing you do when you seeing brothers was to greet them with, you know, whatever the handshake was, right? For whatever mob you was in. He don't even shake your hand first. He just jumped out lying. Like, man, on the phone, guess just what happened. And we like, oh, here goes Super Foe. So I say that to say, okay, now let me fast forward that to today, right? Superbrew, where the term came from. It wasn't so much dealing with lying, it was dealing with overzealous. Because like this cat that I'm talking about, he would get animated when you didn't have to get animated, right? It don't even be a serious situation. So he just blow the whole conversation. So, you know, so I would see certain brothers, and we see this today, right? Let's just say, I'm going to give y'all a scenario, right? Let's say we all chilling, right? We doing a little barbecue or something, a little brew queue. Yeah, since I'm talking about the brew scenario. Say we doing a brew queue, right? And we chilling, everybody laid back, you know, we might be talking the book or whatever, because that's what brothers normally do, you know. So we kicking the book. And then this certain brother just pop up. I mean, he geared up and all, but he popped straight up. We out there talking about, yeah, man, you know, what's the name? Got some good turkey burgers over there. You know, Pistachio's got some good turkey burgers. And this brother just busts out with the gear on, right? Just busts out like, man, you know turkey unclean. I'm like, damn, bro. First of all, you off. And second, you know, you acting like a Superbrew right now. You know what I'm saying? Turkey is unclean. Like, you just looking for a debate. You know, unfortunately, that's a real debate now, turkey and chickens. But that's really where it come from. Somebody that's overzealous. They always tuned up. That's what a Superbrew is. So actually, you can have Superbrews that don't necessarily wear the cultural clothes or the like One West, you know, more design type clothes or something like that. It's some Superbrews in every camp. They just like over the top with it. And so back in the day, like when I first got me a YouTube account, you know, it was a picture floating around with a black dude with a Superman shirt on. So we took the Superman sign off and put the big star and put Superbrew over it. And you know what was funny? When we first put it out there, brothers was laughing at it. Even the brothers from One West and stuff that be on the corner dressed up, they thought it was funny. So it wasn't even really to be derogatory like that. You see what I'm saying? And so people will laugh at it. Now it's more used as people use it like a derogatory term. So that's where Superbrew came from. Just the overzealous Hebrew that be doing too much. That's all. That's what it really means. So you got some Superbrews running around in suits too, right? Okay, so that's that. Now let's get to the next one. The next one. So did everybody get that? Y'all finally got it clear out the Brutionary, out yours. What up, my brother Joshua? Out yours, finally. I'm giving y'all the definition of these words, right? That the Lord put on my spirit to create. Y'all can say it's some folly, but hey, we ain't got the pure Hebrew, you know. We ain't running around talking pure Hebrew. So I say Ebonics ain't good enough. We might as well come up with some more crazy brew slang till we get the pure language right. And so, camp banging. This one really needs to broke down because when I got on Facebook just about an hour or so ago, I said I'm going to go to the store first. The first notification I see is one of my little brothers saying, man, bro, would you please break down what camp banging means? I don't know where this all, I do kind of know where it come from because we talk about it all the time. Like, yeah, that don't really mean it. Like, I see people use the term camp banging with people from their own camp. Like, that defeats the whole purpose. No, that's not. So again, I'm going to take y'all back to the root of it. It goes back to my street life in the gang terminology and how when I came into the truth, I would start to apply some of those things because unfortunately, I actually started seeing similarities in both. I hate to say that, but I started seeing the similarities in both, right? And so, okay, here go camp banging, y'all. So around, I would say around, I want to say 2013, 2009, 10, somewhere between that 10 and 13, up in there. It may even be 2009. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to go back and check my file and see when my original YouTube account was put in, right? But listen, here we go. So, anybody that know about the street life, you know, just coming more from a Midwest standpoint, although these gangs are all over the country now, you would know how specifically in Chicago, how it's set up, right? Like say, you'll have the street organizations that's under the 5-point stop, right? So I'm giving y'all a history lesson if y'all not familiar with this. Any of y'all that grew up around it know what it is, right? Because it ain't going nowhere, so it ain't like it's bad to talk about it. And we ain't glorifying it. I'm just telling you where it come from. It's reality. You can't run from it. That don't help at all. And then on the folks, you got all the gangs under the 6-point stop. So you got the 5-point stop and 6-point stop. You got the people and the folks, right? These are coalitions of different nations under each stop, right? It helped out in jail and all that type of stuff to keep order. So like the GDs, the BDs, the New Breeds, which is BGs, even the Latino gangs like the Maniac Latin Disciples, that's MLDs, the 2-6s, the 2-2s, the Spanish Cobras, all them fell under the 6, right? The 6 come from David Boxdale, King David. Y'all, that's a whole nother story. And then on a 5, it's a 5-point stop because it's a Moorish 5-point stop because that got added to the People's Nation with the prayers of Noble Drew Ali and all that. So under that, you got the Vice Lords, which is a bunch of different branches of them just alone. You got CVL, TVL, IVL, Folk Hustlers, and you go on and on and on, right? And you got the Black P Stones, the Mickey Cobras, and Latin Kings, I think Latin Bishops, Spanish Lords, Latin Counts, all that type of stuff. So you got them over there, you got them over there. Now, I'm about to get to camp banging, y'all. Now, look at the mentality I had. So, I was deep off in that, and so I understood it all. So, what would happen was, by being set up that way, when certain gangs would be in war, you got the people that's from your own organization, right? And then you got allies. For example, say and I'm just using anything. I'm an unknown Vice Lord, right? And we got some Blackstones a few blocks away. We both under the fence, so we we ain't beefing. We cool. We would actually be allies and click together to go against the folks, right? Depending on who outnumber who. So say it was mainly folks in that area outside our two sets, we'd probably, you know, if not click together, we in war with each other, right? Like, you know, that the enemy of your enemy is my friend, all that type of stuff. And so that's how it would go. Now, say I'm a vice lord of any kind, and then we got another set of vice lords 20 blocks over. The fact that we vice lords, we the same thing, we supposed to have some type of brotherhood. Now y'all finna see where this going. So meaning, even though we're not from the same set, we in the same nation. So if I go to your set, I'm supposed to be safe over there and be treated like a guest. You're supposed to look at me as one of your brothers, right? And it's the same way. That's how the folks did it, right? That's just how everything went at one time. Okay. So, what a lot of y'all don't know, outside of the term camp banging, I also had a term called camp tripping. Camp tripping is slightly different than camp banging. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, y'all see what I just explained? You got gang banging, right, where it's all out war with the opposition. But then you have something called set tripping, right, because of the different sets. So set tripping would be like, we some lords or we some folks from over here. But y'all some folks from over there. But y'all still folks. We still the same thing, right? We still the same thing. But by we being by different sets, we don't want to show no brotherhood with you. We don't want to, you know, we don't want to break no bread with you. We don't want to aid and assist you. Say if y'all losing a war over there, we were supposed to come. This go for all street organizations. Being that y'all was the same thing, you supposed to go over there and show them some assistance and help them and stuff like that. That's what an organization is, right? And so if we some set trippers, the nation didn't matter. It was all about our set, man. Them Negroes ain't from, you know, ain't from such and such, whatever set you was from. But the bigger picture was supposed to be y'all was the same nation. It wasn't about your set, right? Y'all see what I'm saying? So we called that set tripping. Like, man, them brothers be set tripping, Joe. They don't show no love for the nation. You know what I'm saying? They don't show no love for the nation when you come through. You know, they only care about their set. They like renegades, right? That's set tripping. Okay. So I would observe some of the things when I came into the truth, unfortunately, and I started to see some of the same behavior amongst the camps. Y'all see where this is going? So I'm glad I was asked to go ahead and just break it down. Because y'all, you know, camp tripping never really took off like camp banging did. So, camp tripping would be equivalent to set tripping. It would be, hey, we are Israelites. We all believe in the Most High God, right? And even, let's say we all Messianic Israelites or Christians. So we all believe in Christ, but we don't really want to break no bread with you because it's really more about our camp. Our camp is better than your camp. You see what I'm saying? Or yeah, y'all are brothers, but you know, I don't kind of trust y'all like that, which is something Jesus and them did not do. So that's camp tripping. Now, camp banging is more extreme. Camp banging is, again, when you go back to gang banging, that's all out war. It's disrespectful. It ain't no love involved. It ain't even no phony love involved. It's strictly, we are superior to you, or if we close to being equal powers, somebody got to go. There's no room for both of us. So it's such and such killer. You put the K on the end, and it's us, it's an N, right? Y'all see this? So literally, that same mindset I started seeing in Israel, and it blew my mind. I never forget, I was watching YouTube, and this was when my eyes was first opened up to this, right? And I had been in the Israelite community for a long time, right? And I used to hear stories of certain like congregations and camps and stuff getting into it, but never really like getting into it. So I synced it with my own eyes, right? And unfortunately, I'm not going to name the two camps, but some of y'all probably remember, it used to be hot on YouTube with certain camps from the One West perspective, and this ain't a black eye on all my One West brothers, but y'all know who I'm talking about, especially brothers from One West know who I'm talking about. I've seen videos with one camp literally driving down on the other camp while they standing out there teaching, jumping out on them. I ain't talking about jumping out on them like, yeah, shalom, brother, let's go. I'm talking about jumping out on them like, man, we about to get down. Straight camp. And when I first seen it, I was like, hold on, Joe. I done left the world to come into another form of gangbang. Like, at least when we was gangbang, it wasn't really no talking. The most we might do is give you a warning about spray paint, tagging something up. In the neighborhood after that, if you get caught outside, you was either getting beat down or you was getting shot, killed, or whatever. That's just how it went. But now I'm seeing cats with Bibles doing this. And then I'm seeing diss videos. Joe, I'm talking about it's an ugly side to Israel out there, Joe. So when I seen it, I said, excuse my Hebrew, I said, it's camp banging. And that's how it came out. Camp banging. And it's stuck. I never heard nobody say it. It wasn't on no internet. Didn't have no shirts. It's in songs and stuff now. But you never heard it. And when I said it, I was like, ooh, you know what? So I said it one day live, either on a radio show or something, and it just, I got back on the radio. I think I got back on a podcast. This one we was doing, what do you call them? Blog Talk Radio. I got on somebody Blog Talk Radio show about 3 weeks later, Joe. That thing was all the way in New York City now. It done went from New York City to LA. Cats talking about camp banging. I'm like, I just be hot dogging. So it just take that, yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Because I'm talking about if y'all synced it, y'all would literally, like the little bickering that congregation camps do, that's one thing. You see what I'm saying? And now y'all understand that's camp tripping. And I'm going to tell y'all why that's camp tripping, which I'm not a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Us, the Walls Jericho, we not going to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, because this is the point. Unless scripture is involved, there's no reason to be doing it. But if it's like, you know, God only dealing with my camp and not nobody else's, you know, that's a problem. That's really a problem, Joe. Because I could take this off and go in the book and show you where, Joe, Jesus and the apostles didn't move like that. Cats came to them like, man, you know, there's some cats over there casting out devils in your name. You know what I'm saying? Like want to shut them. Like, man, they ain't rolling with us. They ain't rolling with us. Jesus was like, dude, if they ain't against me, if they ain't against us, they with us. You know what is you tripping for? Leave them jakes alone. Let them do their thing. They ain't hurt nothing. So that's how that started. So with the camp banging thing, I seen the extreme of it. And I was like, these jakes is out here camp banging. So no, camp banging is not, because I even heard a cat say they was camp banging, but they was from the same camp. And I'm like, huh? You know, he didn't even know I'm the one came up with the term. I'm just listening to him. I'm like, dude, ain't you from the same camp? How is they camp banging? Like, that ain't camp banging, bro. But I didn't even say nothing. I was just listening to him. And so, no, that's the two different things. You got camp tripping and you got camp banging. And I want to say this story might have sounded kind of interesting and funny, but I do want to end it with this note. I hope that was clear to y'all, but I want to end it on this note. There is nothing wrong with edifying one another, regardless of what congregation or camp you are for, if it is based off the biblical narrative, right? That's not banging. That ain't supposed to be us hating each other. That ain't supposed to be one camp better than the other. Because in the end of the day, we supposed to be all one body in Christ. We supposed to be one body in the Mashiach. We just in different synagogues, man. That's all. If you go look during the time of the New Testament, I think Galilee alone had 50 synagogues. It was just like the hood with all these churches. Jesus and them was rotating through the synagogues. You know what I'm saying? They weren't like, man, we ain't going over there to mess with them niggas, Joe. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't on that. They was not on that. We done lost the way, man. There's nothing wrong with loving and having loyalty to your spiritual family. You know what I'm saying? That brought you into something. There's nothing wrong with that. But to have a superior mindset over your brothers and sisters to the point where you almost looking at each other as oppositions, and this goes for anybody. I'm telling y'all that this goes for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in Israel, all fractions, the so-called moderates, the so-called culturals, the so-called One West brothers. If y'all doing that, man, y'all got to stop. This go for all of us. I hold myself accountable for that too. You know what I mean? Like it ain't cute. I know for a fact the Most High don't like it because it's shameful, Joe. If them people come through here right now, if them Gentiles come through here right now, if the Lord allow them to come through here and give us a little test run, you think they gonna be rounding y'all up according to camps? Oh no, he from such and such. You ain't got, don't worry about them. No. They coming to get all you blackity blacks running around here talking about y'all God's chosen people and y'all the real Jews. You know, I don't even like saying that word because them cats, Joe, they flagging and taking down everything. They got too much power. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the Jewish people, right? So if you running around here saying you the real ones, you feel me? You know, under the Revelations 2 and 9, Revelations 3 and 9 act, they not finna dice y'all up in those little groups. I'm going to end it with this. Yeah, right now, they got the Southern Poverty Law Center, right? And they got the ADL, Anti-Defamation League. And within them, they got all the so-called, they call them black identity extremists and, black radical groups or whatever. And do y'all know, yeah, they name most of the quote-unquote militant camps, or you want to say One West or radical camps and all, they name most of them on the list. But I remember from Insider, I had got a peek in some information because I ain't gonna get too much into it, but let's put it like this. Joe, they looking at every last Hebrew Israelite camp, congregation, church in the United States and abroad. They've been looking at you, they've been around you and all that. So when the poo-poo hit the fan, they is not finna try to be dice people up in little groups. They just not gonna do it. And I hate to say it, although this video started off kind of lighthearted, here's the serious significance of it and where it's not a laughing matter no more. And I say this from the bottom of my heart to all my brothers and sisters, man, that I love in Israel, Joe. I mean, it's every camp. I can't name all y'all. Some of y'all even is borderline retarded with some of the doctrines and stuff y'all say. But I know at the end of the day, we got to get this together, right? We still brothers and sisters, y'all. I'm telling y'all this. I see it coming. Brothers and sisters is going to start snitching on each other. Real talk. Now those scriptures is starting to look a whole lot realer when the poo-poo hit the fan and they start telling people you can't do stuff unless it's on the first day of the week. And all that, and that Constantine thing started getting reinstituted, and the Vatican started putting it. I ain't trying to get spooky and scare y'all, because if y'all don't see it coming with the way the government is acting and all the stuff. See, I watch world events, not just hood events. I'm telling you, Jakes is going to start snitching. Real talk. Jakes is going to start snitching. I'm talking about to them authorities and all that type of stuff. If they life get in danger, in order for, or they want to keep their comfortability, you know, like I see how the mark of the beast is going to line up so easy because a lot of people just don't want to be uncomfortable. They is going to start snitching. Like real talk. They going to start catch you think it's your brother and sister in Christ, or even if they non-messianic, they OT only. Your brothers you think shalom, they going to hide an eye at you, Joe. They going to be looking for a come up. And all you're going to be trying to do is be true to the true and living God. And some of us going to die for it. I see it already, Joe. I'm telling you, if you got that Judas spirit in you, stay from around me. Stay away from me and mine, Joe. And I'm dead serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a humble man of the Lord. And I want the Most High, you know, to forgive me and wipe me clean, man. And let me get in the kingdom, Joe. So it's an everyday work, y'all. I ain't even joking right now. It's an everyday work, man. I know I should be doing 200 years or I should be dead. That's why I don't cry about the wheelchair situation, because I should be dead. Or I should just be around here able to blink my eyes for some of the stuff I've been involved in or seen. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he allowed me to not be able to kick that truth to my brothers and sisters and try to get them out the situation and mindset that I was in, I am extremely grateful and I'm humble. But the Judases, all that phony stuff that people be doing, I don't want you around me. Don't come around me in my eyes, Joe, because I could smell a dirty rat. The Most High gave me that gift, Joe. Don't stay around me too long, because I might have a slight flashback to who I used to be. Straight up, Joe. People won't be around here talking about what happened to Enoch, where Enoch at. They gonna be like, where's brother Ben Shamishu at? We ain't seen him since he went with Mikael and them to that barbecue. Nah, let me stop. But with that, I say I love y'all. Shalom, shalom. And I hope that kind of edified y'all on what that is. All right, peace.